and thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'm super excited to share with you 3 of my top tips for supporting healthy breast milk supply as a mama and having just an easeful and joyful breastfeeding experience. If you're new to this channel, my name is Tumi. I am a medical doctor, I'm a dancer, I'm a poet, and I love creating content on this channel that supports your best, most conscious, healthiest, and most delicious life. If you're interested in topics around plant-based living, raw veganism, minimalism, holistic health tips in general, and love and appreciate dance, you're in the right channel, and I invite you to subscribe down below if that feels good to you. So, 3 tips. First one, if you know this channel well, you know me well enough, you probably are not surprised it's going to be about what we put inside our bodies. Hugely important. Breast milk supply, it's vital for that to be good, for you to be hydrating your body well and to be feeding your body optimal, high quality food. And doing that means hydrating foods. If you're eating a lot of dehydrated foods, so lots of dense and cooked foods, here's what I want to say about that. Our bodies are 70% water. And if we're eating foods that are cooked, fried, even baked, the water content in them is very, very low. It can range from next to nothing to 50% around. It depends on what the food is. I want to give you an example. Watermelon is about 90+% water. And when you're giving yourself that kind of nutrition, you are hydrating your body, and your body needs to be hydrated to produce good amounts of breast milk. The bottom line with us is that as human beings, is that as an organism, is that our body will always try to protect this being as much as it can. So if it feels like, wow, we don't have enough fluid here to do the basic cellular mechanisms and cellular processes, we're not going to make a lot of breast milk. We need to take care and make sure your brain has enough fluid, your liver and your pancreas has enough fluid, you have enough fluid going through your intestines. So if you're eating dehydrated, dense, processed foods, you can actually impede the production of breast milk. So I highly recommend, when you are thinking about diet, ask yourself, am I eating hydrating living foods? Am I eating lots of fruits, juicy fruits, grapes, papayas, watermelons, and also your non-sweet fruits like tomatoes and cucumbers? I have at least one What I Eat in a Day as a raw vegan breastfeeding mama that you can check out on this channel, and I will be bringing another one of those videos up very, very soon. So stay tuned, subscribe if you'd like to check that out soon. So eating a lot of water-rich living foods, plant foods, is highly important. If you're eating animal products, your system has to spend a lot of energy digesting those things because our bodies are not designed to be eating those foods. So rather than doing the work of creating wonderful, healthy breast milk supply, a lot of that is being derailed into processing, digesting, and assimilating animal products. So that is one of the many reasons I recommend, again, a plant foods, plant-based diet, and one, especially in this case, that is highly, highly water-rich, very hydrating. It is also imperative as a breastfeeding mama that you eat enough, and eating enough of nutrient-dense foods. I will share with you that one of the many things I love about the food I eat and my diet as a raw vegan is that I never think about counting calories. I haven't done that in so many years. And initially, when I first started doing that, I did it to make sure I was eating enough. As a breastfeeding mama, I am eating way more than I did when I was not pregnant. And even when I was pregnant, I'm eating much more, which if you look at the caloric needs as a breastfeeding mama, they are very high. They're higher even than when you are pregnant for a lot of the time. So it's imperative that you eat enough, but eating enough in my book is not enough. It's eating enough high nutrient dense foods. And again, that's fruits. I mean, in terms of their nutrient density, their antioxidant power, and their vitamin power potential. Vegetables, these as the basis of your diet, I think is so important. Vegetables are mineral rich and vitamin rich, full of amino acids that you can assimilate into your body. So my diet consists of fruits, greens, vegetables I love, all in their living state form, sprouts, seaweeds, small amounts of nuts and seeds that I love to soak and or sprout. The second tip I want to offer around supporting easeful breastfeeding and healthy, abundant breast milk supply is to breastfeed when your baby, your child wants and is asking for it. So what this is called breastfeeding on demand. I don't like the term demand because it sounds like I have this image of this child just, being not nice and being obnoxious and being demanding. It's not a nice connotation. But when my child asks for my breast milk, verbally or non-verbally, I love to offer the breast to my child. And I have found that has been so helpful for supporting healthy breast milk production. And that makes sense scientifically if you understand how breast milk works. So there's a whole letdown phenomenon, which means that when the baby is, or your child is sucking at the nipple, your body sends a feedback. It's a feedback mechanism. It's a signal to the brain to let down more milk and to produce more milk. So hormones such as prolactin and oxytocin are super important for this feedback and communication loop. It's a beautiful, beautiful, wise system and wise way of working. So if your child is asking for breast milk and he or she is then sucking on the breast, your body then says, okay, let's keep producing, let's produce more. But if you don't offer the breast at the time because you're thinking, I need to follow some sort of schedule for breastfeeding, then the brain does not get that signal and does not get that feedback communication, and breast milk production can start slowing down. I want to be very clear here. If you're a mama and you feel your best and you feel like it's best for your child and for you to follow a breastfeeding schedule, and you feel that that has not impeded your breast milk production, wonderful. Please do what works for you. But if you're somebody who feels like following a schedule doesn't maybe resonate, and or you're neutral to doing it or not doing it, but you feel that if you follow a schedule, you have seen a diminishing of your breast milk supply. If you've seen a breast milk supply diminishing, I offer you to play with this idea of releasing a scheduled breastfeeding and rather going with what feels good for yourself and for your child, and offering breastfeeding when he or she is asking for it, when they're asking for it, and or when you feel intuitively to offer to them. I have found that my breast milk supply is hugely positively influenced by breastfeeding when I want to offer it intuitively and when my child asks for it, pre-verbally or later on verbally. Just want to say that at this point of the video, my child is 16 months old, and it continues to be a pleasure to offer the breast when he asks for it or when I feel like doing it. One other wonderful thing about breastfeeding this way is that it prevents the breast from getting engorged or very full and painful, and thus preventing things like mastitis from having taking place. I want to also say that I will be speaking more about diet specifically and its relationship to breastfeeding and things you can do in the diet, strategies you can do with your diet to support healthy breast milk production and just a joyful breastfeeding experience. I will be doing that in my talk on raw food and breastfeeding, pregnancy, and birthing. And that talk, that presentation, which will have dance as part of it, will be given at the Raw Food Yoga Retreat, an online retreat. I talked about that, I believe, in a recent video, but I will leave a link to the retreat in the description box down below. It's on March 20th and 21st. I have a link to a discount code that you can use. So check the link down below, and I hope you can join me if you can. Tip number 3, and this is one I feel like that doesn't get talked about enough, but it's one that I do daily, and that has been so nourishing for me physically, but also emotionally in my breastfeeding journey. And that is breast massage. So every single day, sometimes twice a day, but definitely after I take a luscious shower or bath, I will then use an emollient, a botanical oil to massage my breasts. And if you're going to do breast massage, I recommend that you start in the axilla or in the armpit and massage that, because that is beautiful breast tissue there. That is actually where the breast tissue drains to. A lot of our lymphatic tissue for the breast is found there. So massaging the axilla or the armpit and then moving to the breast and doing that while breathing, doing deep breathing and sending love to our breasts when we do that. I cannot speak highly enough about breast massage. I think that in the breastfeeding experience, it can sometimes feel that your breasts no longer belong to you because you are giving it to your child so much. And that is so beautiful. And your breasts are still you. They're still part of you. And so I love doing this breast massage as a way of thanking them for nurturing my child and thanking them for being on my body and being part of my body. And it's a way to remind myself that they are still mine. It is also very practically a way to keep the skin beautiful, to keep the skin healthy, and to prevent chapping of the nipples, and prevent also mastitis or clogging of some of the ducts of the breast. So for all these reasons, I highly recommend breast massage, and I find it to be so helpful for having a joyful experience in the breastfeeding journey and supporting and encouraging healthy breast milk production. Those are some of my tips around breastfeeding. Again, I will share more specifically as it relates to food in the upcoming Raw Food Yoga Retreat. Again, check the link down below for a discount code and for more information on that. And I'd love to hear from you. If you are a mama and have had a joyful, now or in the past, breastfeeding experience, leave for us, please, one tip you have had you would like to share around supporting healthy breast milk production and just a healthy experience and joyful experience. Please share. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with anyone you think might benefit, any other mama. And if you like, please subscribe down below. I send you much love wherever in the world you might be. Take care.